It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Prime Time.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaunt on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Second down, they go again with Henry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
You can bet they're not going to go away from the running game anytime soon, but this is obviously not a good start. 2 carries, 2 runs, both stopped for a loss.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills. The ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
First carry for Najee Harris. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Pass complete, George Pickens with it. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Wilson. Being chased out left. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Harris running straight ahead. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. To throw is Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop it.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Tackled that time by Joey Porter Jr. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7. Off the option, here's Henry. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now it's Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Throwing is Jackson. That'll be taken in by Flowers. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
To throw is Jackson. Oh, and that is incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Jackson now. Open man is Flowers. He's got it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Jackson. And he fires one incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Zay Flowers, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone. Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points. Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. Williams brings it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, three things can happen, and two of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now Jackson. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jackson. And the ball is knocked out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. So field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing is Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Now it's Wilson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he missed it. It's no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
The Ravens were led in that first half by who else? The former MVP Lamar Jackson. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trail by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Play action. Now Wilson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. He'll start with a give to Henry, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Ooh, with a juke. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. A first down carry for Henry. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They'll motion out one of the tight ends. Henry. It's going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Again, it's Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are able to add on to that lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
They'll try and run it in with Henry. Powers through, and he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest, and this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They hand this off to Harris, and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Trenton Simpson firing in and sticking him for a loss.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll try the right side with Harris. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Again, Wilson. That is caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Austin, 28 yards. And the Steelers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will get them one closer. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And the busy night for Henry continues. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. On the give, this is Harris. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need him to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes the correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw is Wilson. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This one from 48 yards away. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead is cut to 2 now. It's 15-13. So that gets him a little closer as he converts there, but you have to think back to the field goal he missed earlier.
Right now, that's the difference between leading and trailing. So at this moment, he's reciting that kicker's prayer that we know so well. Just give me one more shot before this one's said and done.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. Gets around him, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Running left, it's Henry. Taken down at the 47-yard line. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Henry. That's about as exciting of a 1-yard run as you're going to see, finding a way to dodge that first would-be tackler, but again, just 1 yard out of it. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Henry up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to at least make it a 5-point cushion. Tucker's kick is good, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. So Russell Wilson and the offense down by 5, 33 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now Wilson. This entire defensive unit, Charles, they've really put in a good shift tonight, so to speak.
I like how you phrased that. This has been a good shift. They punched the clock the entire evening. Ought to have shirts that have their names on them in the front to let them know these are blue-collar workers who are getting it done.
And that is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are looking like they're going to come away with a victory. The Ravens offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.